Please join me in prayer. Oh, Great Spirit, thank you for this beautiful, beautiful spring morning. Thank you for these beautiful people that are sharing this morning with me, and for all the blessings that we receive as we come together, gather together to further evolve our spirituality. I give thanks this morning for all of the mothers, for the nurturing and the love and just their huge impact on the world. And I give thanks for the Divine Mother, the feminine aspect of spirit that is in all of us, allowing us to be receptive, open, compassionate, and loving. So as we listen to our Taizé meditation this morning, and as we engage in conscious conversation afterwards, I know that the infinite wisdom of Spirit guides our understanding and guides all that we share. And so I open my heart, I open my mind, I open my consciousness with a willingness to be transformed in new and powerful ways. I surrender to this moment, I surrender to this gathering, and I surrender to Spirit in this moment, knowing that it takes me into my next yet to be. So with a grateful heart, I release my prayer, knowing that a prayer spoken is a prayer answered. So I let go, I let God, I let it be so, and we say together, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome and happy Mother's Day to everyone. Yes. If you're new with us this morning, either in the room or online, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith community that teaches universal principles and practical spirituality. And our purpose here this morning is to point you to the guidance and wisdom of your own mystic heart. So this morning we're going to center our reflection on the gifts of the mother. And we'll begin our meditative journey by joining our voices in musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. wings take flight. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. Within your heart there is a doorway. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. Within your heart there is a doorway. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight.
Taking a long, slow, deep breath. And feeling the brief pause. And then letting it go. Feeling the presence of the one within you. The presence of life itself. And allowing anything that is not life-enhancing to be released back into the atmosphere where it can be transformed. Breathing in vibrant energy, and then sending that energy out into the world on the out-breath. Creating an atmosphere of love, of peace and wholeness, both within and without. Taking another moment to follow the breath as it settles into its own natural flow. And then slowing it down just a little bit. And now allowing your awareness to move away from the breath, grounding even more deeply into the silence. Into the eternal nature of your being, where you feel and know your oneness with the creative intelligence of the universe. Together we are attuning ourselves to a higher vibration as we co-create this experience with the infinite. Feel the energetic vibration of spirit in your body. We take a moment to feel the oneness of our global community, seeing with the inner eye a web of consciousness that surrounds and infuses the planet. Each one of us a radiant point of light in that web. And now extending our vision to include all beings, acknowledging every human, every creature, every plant of every kind, all a part of the web. Every rock and grain of sand and every drop of water infused with God's radiant light. And extending our vision still further into the cosmos. Acknowledging that the wind and the clouds and the stars and the planets are all part of this one light, this one life. Acknowledging our connection with all of life. Our collective work here is empowered. Our collective prayer and meditation leave an imprint of peace, of love, of grace on the world, on the cosmos, for all time. Transformation is underway. Wholeness is being revealed by means of each one of us. As we come together this morning, we share a heartfelt intention to spend time as spiritual family in deep communion with that which is beyond time and space, beyond definition and description. From deep within, we feel the impulse to grow and evolve, choosing to do so consciously. This month, we are focusing on the power of reflection. There is a spiritual principle, a creative process, always at work. We recognize it in nature. We know it as our lives unfolding. And we take part in the process of creation, in our own lives and as part of a global community. As one by one, each of us acknowledges and learns to consciously create, our lives and the life of our planet is being transformed. In honor of Mother's Day, we reflect upon the gifts of the mother. The receptive, nurturing, and sustaining aspect of the divine. The counterpart to the Holy Father, or the volitional and generative aspect of spirit. In ancient Chinese philosophy, we find the yin-yang symbol. It represents the seemingly opposite forces or aspects of life, of the all that is. Rather than opposite, these forces are actually complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world. Each gives rise to the other, spiritual power flowing between them as they interact. Each of them is present in every one of us. Today I'm speaking of yin. Allow yourself to acknowledge and experience the yin energy in you. that which is receptive, that which is nourishing and nurturing and sustaining. In other traditions, there are other names for the receptive creative energy of the universe. A Christian might call it the Holy Spirit. Ancient mystical traditions might call it Sophia or Lady Wisdom. The New Thought traditions might call it the soul or the creative medium. By whatever name we call it, we know it as the foundational principles that govern the universe. And so by extension, they govern our lives. What do we know about spiritual principles? They are predictable. We can depend on them. They are impartial. They work the same way for everyone, all the time. They respond by corresponding to whatever we give our attention to. Whatever we send out is mirrored back. We create a cause by our thoughts, words, actions, intentions, and beliefs. And according to principle, we get a corresponding effect. We know that they are invisible, and so we tend to forget that they are always working, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. We might be familiar with these principles as the law of expectation. What we are looking for is what we tend to find. As the law of being. What we are being in the world and in our life is what we bring to the world. It is what we experience. Or we might know it as the law of faith. What we have faith in is what we perceive and draw into our lives. It is reassuring to know that there is a power at work that we can tap into, that we can use to make our lives more peaceful, more abundant, and more beautiful. In fact, once we are conscious that this is so, its power within us seems to grow. This can be the good news or the bad news. As long as we remember that it is always working and align our thoughts, words, and actions accordingly, our lives become more graceful as time passes. It doesn't mean that we no longer experience difficult things. Conditions will come and conditions will go. But our experience of those conditions becomes more graceful. We can consciously call on the Divine Feminine to assist in our creation of a more beautiful life and a more beautiful world. Call her name and she will answer.
a loving place, tender and full of grace. Sweet sister, hear our prayer. Oh, mother, take us there. There is a loving place where peace shines on every face. This is the dream we share. Oh, mother, take us there. Oh, mother, take us home. Please melt these hearts of stone. Guide us with constant care. Father, our hearts may roam. Help every soul to fly. Dance with the angels soaring on high. Help every hurt to heal. Help every fear to die. Let your love light our way. Cast every doubt away. Sweet sister, hear our prayer. Oh, mother, take us there. Oh, mother, take us home. Please melt these hearts of stone. Guide us with constant care. Father, our hearts may roam. Help every soul to fly. Dance with the angels soaring on high. Help every hurt to heal. Help every fear to die. Let your love light our way. Cast every doubt away. Sweet sister, hear our prayer. Oh, mother, take us there. 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 Oh, mother, take us there.
the Divine Mother, the Sacred Feminine, the qualities of receptivity and compassion, poise, beauty, and wisdom lie within each one of us. We call it forth now. There is a loving place, tender and full of grace. Sweet sister, hear our prayer. O Mother, take us there. There is a loving place where peace shines on every face. This is the dream we share. O Mother, take us there. O Mother, take us home. Please melt these hearts of stone. Guide us with constant care, far though our hearts may roam. Help every soul to fly, dance with the angels soaring on high. Help every hurt to heal. Help every fear to die. Let your love light our way. Cast every doubt away. Sweet sister, hear our prayer. O Mother, take us there.
We call the Divine Feminine by many names: Mother Nature, Shakti, Shekinah, Sophia, Mother Earth, or simply the Goddess. Gentle, tender, compassionate, and kind, she is the nurturing aspect of spirit, the great cosmic mama that holds the whole universe in her lap. She is also the womb of creation, giving birth to all that exists in the phenomenal world, and then lovingly sustaining her creations, providing all that is needed that they may flourish and thrive. She receives our prayers, planting them deep within herself, where they begin to develop and grow. Hindus, Jews, and Christians all believe that human beings are born with attributes of the divine, that the Spirit dwells within us as us. Whether we are male, female, or non-binary, the Divine Mother is present and active in each one of us. She shows up as our creativity, as our intuition, as our compassion. Each of us has a unique blend of masculine and feminine qualities, energies, and attributes. And these characteristics influence how we interact with the world. We might visualize a spectrum with yin on one end and yang on the other. And in meditation, we may look within and find just where we are currently balanced. The very act of looking within in meditation is an expression of our divine feminine nature. We open our hearts and minds to receive inspiration. We engage our intuition, our undefended receptivity to whatever it is that our soul is longing to discover. As we share these 3 minutes of sacred silence, I invite us to contemplate and connect with our creative, nurturing, and compassionate nature. Let us listen deeply for the loving whispers of the divine. O Mother, take us there. Holy Mother of all that is, thank you for this beautiful day, for this time of blessed communion, and for the love and support of these saints gathered with me in beloved community. May we always be receptive to your holy wisdom, and may we never forget who and whose we are. Today we celebrate the truth that every mother is a perfect reflection of the divine feminine. Whether she is a human with her children, a doe with her fawns, or a hen with her chicks, She is an expression of the nurturing and sustaining love of Spirit. Thanks, Mom. As Reverend Diana continues her Taizé meditation, we expand our receptivity, our compassion, and our intuition. We allow the seed of wisdom to grow within us, and we give thanks for these gifts of the Divine Mother.
Why not give our full attention to a creative vision, to what we want to experience, to who we want to be moving forward? Real change begins in the invisible world, in our faith. We choose to consciously place our faith in the love or self-givingness of the infinite. We place our faith in the law or the divine order and process that is always at work, trusting that it moves us toward a higher experience of ourselves, that it serves our soul in some way as it makes its evolutionary journey. The infinite intelligence of the universe uses everything for good. Nothing is wasted. And so right here in this sacred moment, I breathe in all that has been spoken. I allow it to change me so that I might become more and more open and responsive to the creative life of Spirit moving through me. I realize that there is only one thing going on here, and that is God expressing and experiencing itself as all of creation. How else could it express itself? And so it must be living its life as mine. It beckons me to give it permission to live fully and completely. And so I do. I say yes to all of the good that life has to offer.
Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth, and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth, and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, blessed be, oh Mother God, blessed, oh Mother God, blessed be.
I open fully to welcoming and receiving the joy, the peace, the beauty, and the grace that so easily flows to me and through me as I let go of all that has come before and start anew. I am made new by the renewing of my mind. I'm so grateful for this realization and for the chance to begin again in every moment. I have absolute faith that my powerful word is creative and moving into form and experience right here and right now for each one listening. And so I release it fully and completely to the loving and lawful presence, calling it done. And so it is. Amen. So as you're ready, gently bringing yourself back into our space. Look around, see who's here celebrating with us this morning. People might have come in while we were under the influence. So as we close our Taizé this morning, we offer the opportunity for you to share of your financial good with our community in support of the work that we are doing in the world. If you're joining us online, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button and a mailing address. And as we offer our gifts today, I offer for you a brief video, Kiss the Ground exclusive clip, and Mr. Mrazzacotto Gets Back to Earth by Jason Mraz.
This is agroforestry. It's agriculture through trees, tree diversification. I've got an avocado tree, banana tree, fig tree, coffee trees. We went from a monocrop of single Haas avocado to now having about 40 different fruit varieties on site.
'Cause my home is where my food is grown. I'm going back to the earth.
By diversifying, we can now have harvests every month. If you're looking to do something that would greatly impact Mother Earth, plant a tree. You don't need acres and acres and acres to build a food forest. You really just need a few hundred square feet. You're gonna look outside one day and go, what is something we buy every day at the grocery store that instead of waiting for it to be shipped around the world to me, what can I put in my own backyard that I can do myself?
And to truly be forgiven, we must all get back to living with the land in harmony. I'm going back to whenever my head starts to hurt, before it goes from bad to feeling worse, I turn off my phone, I get down low and put my hands in the dirt. I try to stop the world from moving so fast, try to get a grip on where I'm at and simplify this dizzy life and put my feet in the grass. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth.
Mr. Mrazzacotto. So I chose that today in honor of the mother and in honor of the garden that is currently going in at the micro shelter. We're getting closer every week. And one of the ways that our community is taking part in regeneration. So I say thank you for these gifts. I know that they come of spirit, and they come through your generous hearts and hands. And so we receive them with deep gratitude and pledge to use them well to serve the most in the most ways possible. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is. All right, so just a quick reminder that next week, Sunday after the service, the second part of our gathering at 1 o'clock, others are going to join us in gathering at Goodwater Crossing, which is the micro shelter at St. James Lutheran Church. And they're doing their gratitude celebration to all of the people who have been a part of bringing that micro shelter about. So we're going to bring our taco bar from here to there. We're going to have lunch there. And Dalton and Chris and I will be doing some music, and they're going to do some brief thank yous to people and that kind of thing. And we'll have a big taco bar and dessert.
And we don't need to worry about bringing desserts. Someone else is doing that.
Someone else is doing desserts
St. James has
and
it
drinks. Yeah. Someone else is doing paper plates, all that stuff. So we have different churches working together, interfaith style. And that's next week.
If anybody's not staying for the conscious conversation and wants to know what's going on, our May bulletin is finished, so you can
Yep.
pick up one of those and magnet it to your fridge. No well-dressed fridge should be without one.
That's right. Even if you leave after the meditative portion and go do something else for a while, you're welcome to come at 1 o'clock and have lunch and see the shelter and celebrate and meet some really, really nice folks. All right, sing you on your way to whatever's next. May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. God bless you. Have a beautiful Sunday, or grab a cup of something warm and come on back at 10:30 for a conversation.
Well, welcome back. Please join me in an energetic opening prayer as we thank Spirit for this beautiful day the Divine Mother has given birth to on this planet that we call Mother Earth. It is a joy to be here today, to be gathered with like minds in our common quest to grow spiritually. And it's working. So I just say thank you to each one here. Thank you for the support in my spiritual growth. Thank you for supporting Mystic Heart Center and all the ways that you do that. And I know that each one here receives something that they came here for this morning, whether they knew it or not. And each one shares exactly what they came here to share as we join in conversation and flesh out these ideas. So knowing that our time together is inspired of Spirit, I just let the wisdom unfold and I get out of the way and let it happen. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. I don't think anybody new wandered in, so welcome back. A lot of our younger folks were out at the lake all day yesterday, and so we probably won't be seeing them this morning. They tend to stay into the evening and do fires, you know, all those fun things. So, happy Mother's Day, everybody. If you're new here with us today, either in person or online, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an interfaith community that teaches universal principles and practical spirituality. And we welcome you home to this community should you choose it for yourself, trusting that you're going to find something this morning that leads you to the guidance and wisdom that dwells in your own mystic heart. So before we jump into our conversation this morning, we're going to join our voices in some upbeat musical prayer. Feel free to sing, dance, jump up and down, or whatever you want to do. Our section there.
Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with loving hearts to share. Together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer.
And everything's possible through prayer.
To the Mystic Heart.
I dare you to sit still.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 hey. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody meet. Hey, 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 hey.
All right. Look for the good. Chorus only for this time, this month, excuse me.
Do you remember what key we ended up in? I think it's...
Look for the good in everything. That is. I guess that'll work. Look for the good in everything. Go ahead. It'll work. It's not the best key. We should write it down.
Yeah.
I think they're still working on this.
We know the song. We just don't know where we want to sing it. Look for the good. Yeah, that's good.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. One more time. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good.
Should ya?
Look for the good in everyone.
Woo! Thank you, Jason Mraz. I think we're going to do that whole song next week out at the celebration. We're also going to share our upbeat community music with them. All right. Know some of what we do.
Sure.
But right now, let's keep the powerful energy going and join together in our sacred practice of envisioning a love-soaked world. So feel and know with me right now a world in which all humans are living from their highest selves, from their deepest wisdom, from their most generous and loving nature. What does that look like in your mind? People who are thoughtful of the impact of their thoughts, words, and actions, and the effects that we have on one another, the effects that we have on our community and on the planet. This is a world in which all beings remember that every thought, word, and action does have an impact. It does leave an imprint. This is a world where all needs are met gracefully and easily because we have learned to live according to our generous nature, where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, warm, comfortable, and affordable housing, a sense of safety and belonging. This is a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are ensured by social systems grounded in integrity and wholeness, where honesty rules the day. In this world of our creation, all beings work and play at whatever feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service. All beings are valued and respected for their inherent goodness. It's a world where authenticity and vulnerability are welcomed and celebrated, where the peace that we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of violence and hatred and indifference. Feel and know with me now a world without greed, where generosity is the norm, where there's abundance in just having enough, and where every being receives all that is needed for a full and contented life. By the power of our collective intention, powerful imagining, and inspired action, we are writing a new story. We're creating a world that works for all beings. We grant no special importance or power to appearances, knowing that transformation is underway right here and right now. Whatever it may look like, we know that all is always being turned to good. So we walk in gratitude, respect, reverence, and humility, acknowledging the sacred in everyone and everything, planting seeds of peace. It is through our hands and feet and hearts and voices that positive change is happening as we align our actions with our vision, living these changes in our own lives with our families, our friends, and our neighbors. This community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, and love, as we're guided to the truth that lies within every heart. By the creative power of our deep knowing, our clear vision, and inspired action, this prayer is acted upon even as it is spoken. So in full acceptance of its reality and with the deepest gratitude, we release our word to the one that gets it done, and so it is. Amen. Could you turn the air conditioning on, please? It's getting a little warm in here. No, I'm beyond that. That's done. I think it's just warm in here.
I get them all the time.
Yeah. So let's take a moment just to bask in that energy. We just up-leveled our vibration here by a whole bunch. Our music, our singing, our joining voices, and our collective visioning.
Did you call that a sacred prayer
A sacred practice, yeah.
practice?
Uh-huh.
Because it's similar every time you speak it. But
Yeah.
It's so encompassing.
Yeah. I know the power of visioning, and I know that when we do align our thoughts and our words and our actions, especially our actions, with what that vision looks like, that's how the world's changing, right?
So true.
Yeah. So notice that our visioning practice is not a prayer for something to happen. We're not praying for a different world. Praying for a thing means it's not yet here. Right? So we're holding in our minds and hearts the vision of what our world is becoming right here and now. Seeing it as done, seeing it as complete. Not pretending that there's nothing that we need to do when we go back out into our life and in our world to back up this prayer, but it's accepting it as inevitably so, as done. No questions asked. We're not in prayer for a love-soaked world. We're praying as the love-soaked world. You sense the difference between those two things? Praying for something keeps it just ahead of you, like you never get there. Praying as it means you become that now. So if you were here at Taizé this morning, you know that we've been looking at the gifts of the mother this morning. And for those who weren't here, we talked about the creative process that's always at work. We recognize it in nature. We know it as in our own lives unfolding. We take part in the process of creation all the time, in every moment. And we contemplated yin and yang and how we all have and express both feminine and masculine qualities within us, and how they're not opposite energies, but rather they're complementary energies. And we reflected on the spiritual principles that are always at work in the creative process. And sometimes we love that these things are always at work because we're in the flow and we're setting nice causes in motion and we're in good moods and we're speaking kind words and doing all those things. And then sometimes we don't want to know that it's still in motion because we are not maybe behaving from our highest selves. And we all go through the ups and downs, all of us. So I want to riff off of those ideas. Oh, I didn't grab my book. Let me get my book, because I'm going to read a couple passages this morning too. Kind of riff off of those ideas by asking some additional questions and just see where it takes us. Sound all right? So to set up the first question, I'd like to share some thoughts from Carolyn Mace. She had some audio interviews that she called Holy Language. So these quotes come from those interviews. Basically, she says that the invisible world is so well organized. It is not carelessly put together. Quite literally, everything we think, say, feel, and do leaves an imprint, sets some kind of a cause in motion. That's kind of scary, huh? Every thought, word, action. She says, we're all part of one living consciousness. There truly is no separation between us. And if this is so, then what I am thinking is no longer private. Oops. Okay. It affects the world around me. Yes. It affects the world around me, every person who crosses my path, and beyond. And her phrase is, all life breathes together. I love her work. So what are your thoughts about that? What comes up for you when you hear those ideas? I already heard scary. Yes,
Well, I have to tell you that when I first started hearing them, it knocked my whole thing about I have to have my privacy for a big leap.
One mind, no privacy. Uh-oh. One of my first teachers used to say, you know, ideally, in an ideal world, everything that runs through our minds should be able to be running across like a ticker tape on our foreheads. And nobody would be upset by it or bothered by it, or, you know, everything going through I'm a little ways from that.
Well, I think it would require us getting to the point where we don't make judgment.
Absolutely. Just accepting what is, as it is, without my good opinion, thank you very much.
Hold on.
Right, yeah. What else comes up? Anything else?
I'm not sure I want to know what other people think.
Do I really want to know what you think of me? It might help redirect my behavior if I did know what people thought of me. You never know.
Well, not just thought of me, but thought of what's going on in the world.
Right, well, that's true, yeah.
I think though that as we get clearer and clearer, we know what other people are thinking just by looking at their faces.
That's true.
And standing and feeling the energy that we're sharing with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
which is also kind of scary.
Uh-oh.
But not only that, building on that, but the behavior we exhibit toward them.
Yes.
And that's how we live in another person, what the impression we make on them.
Yes. Yeah, and we're doing that all the time. People leave every encounter with us with some impression. We don't know what that impression is, but we always make an impression.
That's where the ticker tape comes in.
That's right. That's right. Chris?
I just had a thought about privacy. You know, we think our thoughts are private, but there's a lot of people have a strong desire to have a private life, and it seems like that is the antithesis of living in unity.
Right.
I mean, not
Yeah.
that, you know, not that you shouldn't have shutters for your windows and doors and stuff like that, but just the not wanting other people to know who they are is
Right.
kind of sad, actually.
It is. And what does that say about how we feel about ourselves? If we don't trust that if someone else knows us for who we are, that that's going to be okay. What is that saying about us?
That we don't like ourselves.
That we're not too comfortable in our own skin.
I think we care too much what other people think of us. And how nice it would be to relinquish that responsibility of, oh, I've got to appear just so to everyone.
Right. So do it.
Yeah, and I am. It's a process, but I'm getting there.
Good for you.
The other thing I want to mention was your comment about yin yang.
Uh-huh.
And that typically is light and dark, with the greatest lightness a spot of dark, and vice versa. And I'm thinking how that could represent the earth turning to day and night.
Yeah.
And that it's not, just darkness is not inherently bad at all.
No. Darkness is required for life to begin.
And thank God that we
Yeah.
have this earth turning so that it can
Right.
not burn up and
Yeah.
just be in one place. So the notion here is, I am of this world. The noises that I hear, the breath that I take, all that invisibility, I would not be here in this world were it not for the noises and the breath and
Right.
all the movement that we see.
Yeah.
I used to be kind of offended with the cars going by. Now I'm seeing, hey, it just proves to me I'm with the world here. I'm in
Right.
the world.
Yeah.
And later on, when my body may not be here, I'll be of the heavens.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you. So Carolyn also speaks of how some people are afraid that through technology, they're being watched. You hear people talk about that? Oh, my cell phone. Oh. Her advice is never mind the government. It's heaven you should worry about.
And we are being watched.
We're all part of one mind.
Uh-huh.
We're all leaving that imprint all the time. Every word you say is a prayer. How's that feel? Every word you say is a prayer. Are you praying for what you want or what you don't want?
That's where the word should comes in. And, you know, you've heard people say, don't use the word should. But hey, let's face facts. We all should do things. We all should breathe all the time. We all need to go through certain processes. So that's all right.
Right.
And so let's just collect the good things that we should do.
There you go. Instead of shoulding all over ourselves with the things we shouldn't have done in the past or should have done, you know, looking back.
Yeah, should
wishing
seems
differently.
to indicate the guilt. Oh, we should be
Right.
guilty. And guilt is another thing we don't need.
Exactly. Lucinda?
I think we also need to think about the word should as a future. I should do this thing when I really don't want to.
Mhm.
It's not what I want to do, it's what
Right.
someone else wants me to do.
Yeah. So if it's not what you want to do, what determines whether or not you do it with a full heart? What determines that? Because I'm not gonna go so far as to say that if it's something someone else wants you to do and you don't want to, you shouldn't. That's not always so. What is the determining factor to tell you whether this is an action for you or not?
Well, for me, it's, is it the best thing for the whole, for the collective?
Yes.
Am I bringing more love into the world? Am I bringing more joy, more peace
Right.
into the world? And whether I want to do it or not is kind of immaterial at that point.
Yes.
But reminding myself that that's why I'm doing that
Right.
makes it
Yeah.
more joyful, and I am able to do it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Could I distill that by using the word, what works?
Yeah. And what works for whom? For the whole, for the greatest good. What works for the greatest good?
I think that if that being true, then I need to take a look at my attitude and do some adjustments before I do it. Because I don't want to be putting love and joy out in the world with snarky attitude. That comes through too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be very joyful then.
Yeah, because that's not really love and joy. So something else to consider. Happiness is not created as the result of certain conditions existing. Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay,
keep going.
all right. Happiness is not created as a result of certain conditions existing. Certain conditions are created as a result of happiness. How's that? Maybe we'll get through 3 or 4 of these and hang on to your thoughts.
Okay.
Love is not created as a result of certain conditions existing. Certain conditions are created as a result of love. Compassion is not created as a result of certain conditions existing. Certain conditions are created as a result of compassion. Abundance is not created as a result of certain conditions existing. Certain conditions are created as a result of abundance. Freedom is not created as a result of certain conditions existing. Certain conditions are created as a result of freedom. Happiness, love, compassion, abundance, and freedom are all states of mind. One can choose which state of mind to adopt. No matter what state or quality we choose, we find the same truth. Beingness precedes experience and then produces it.
So
You want to share thoughts around
that
that?
means that you create your own conditions in a way.
Yes. Yes. David?
Well, I've heard it said, like, nobody can take your joy.
Nobody
from
can
you.
take your joy.
You have to give it away.
That's right. Nobody can take your joy from you. You have to give it away.
You mean I'm responsible?
Oh my God. I'm responsible for myself and my own life. Oh.
And my behavior.
And my behavior. Not again. This comes up almost every week. I wonder why. I wonder why. So where do you find evidence in your own life that this is true? Or do you disagree with it? You think it's all a load of, my dad would say, a load of hooey. Load of hooey.
That's what you'd say on a good day.
On a good day. Yeah, we're going to stay away from those other days.
So repeat that question, please.
So where do you see evidence that this is so in your own life?
In my marriage,
In your marriage?
my third and final. I grew up during the practice marriages. Not that there's still not room for growth.
Just so you know, it's my fourth and final. Anyway, where else do you find evidence in your own life? Mark?
I'll use the word acceptance. The more acceptance of what is, the easier it is to get through.
Okay, so you put the energy of acceptance out there and your life becomes more graceful and easy.
Doesn't mean you have to, that's the end result. Doesn't mean you don't have to evolve.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Every day you should learn something new.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Every thought that you think
Mhm.
creates a vibration.
Yeah.
Even in your vocal cords, your thoughts will create
Yes.
vibration, and it's your job, or not saying it's your job, that you have to control your positive and negative,
Mm-hmm,
what vibration that you put out into the universe.
yes.
So if you don't like what your environment is, you can change it with your thought.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And I'll go ahead and take the rap for saying it is your responsibility
Yeah,
to
it
do
is.
that.
If you
It's
don't like
all
it,
of our
yeah, it's on
responsibility
you.
to do that. We don't all know that it's our responsibility or that we have that power. But I believe that the truth is that it is.
Maybe it stems from the idea that the song, look for the good in everything
Mhm.
and everyone, because we don't know the backstories.
We don't know. We don't know what stories have brought people to where they are. We have no idea.
No.
And no right to make judgment of any kind. Doesn't serve us well, for sure. No? Okay. Looking for your name.
I'm still processing.
So, what if we're not in a place, because life isn't all happy sunshine, right? Mine isn't. I try to bring happy sunshine when I'm with y'all, but that doesn't mean it always feels that way to me. What if we're not in a place where we're feeling happy or loving or compassionate or abundant or free? What if we have good reasons for how we're feeling? What if we've been hurt and betrayed? What if we have old calcified thought patterns wired into our brains that get in the way of us experiencing these things? Because the longer you live, the more stuff can build up in there, and it can really feel pretty calcified and hardwired in. So what if that's what's going on? And I want you to consider, first of all, aren't we all in that same boat in some area of our life? Don't we all have places that that maybe need rewiring a little bit? Yeah, I know I do. It's not always helpful to recognize that we're not alone. Doesn't make us feel like, well, okay, so I'm not alone. Doesn't make my problem feel any less, right? But it might be comforting to see that, other people also have things that they're working with. So I'd like to offer a practice that might be helpful. It's a specific kind of prayer to add to your toolbox. But before we jump into the practice, I'm going to give some context for this by sharing a couple passages from Greg Braden's book, Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer. Excellent book if you haven't read this one. So let's see, it says to start with the green tab. Here we are. So listen to this. The section's called The Mystery of the Space Between. There's power that lives in the space between. That subtle instant when something ends and what follows hasn't yet begun. From the birth and death of galaxies to the beginning and ending of careers and relationships, even in the simplicity of breathing in and out, creation is the story of beginnings and endings, cycles that start and stop, expand and contract, live and die. Regardless of scale, between the beginning and the end, there exists a moment in time when neither one has fully happened. That moment is where magic and miracles come from. In the instant of between, all possibilities exist, and none have been chosen. From this place, we're given the power to heal our bodies, to change our lives, and bring peace to the world. All events originate from this powerful, magical moment. I'm going to skip a little bit, and on that same thread, quantum physicists suggest that our world works in much the same way. For instance, what we see as a football touchdown or triple axel of a figure skater on a Sunday afternoon sports program, in quantum terms, is actually a series of individual events that happen very quickly and closely together. Similar to the way in which many images strung together make a movie look so real, life actually occurs as brief, tiny bursts of light called quanta. Let's see. I think I'll read a couple extra sentences here. The quanta of life happens so quickly that unless our brain is trained to operate differently, as it would in some forms of meditation, it simply averages the pulses to create the continuous action we see as Sunday sports. Within this simplified explanation of life, we also find the key to our healing. For one burst of light to end before the next begins, there must, by definition, be a moment in between. Within this space, for a brief instant, there exists a perfect balance where nothing is happening. In this place of no thing, all scenarios of life, death, suffering, healing, war, peace exist as possibilities and potential. This is the place where feelings and prayers become the blueprints of life. The key is that our emotional state during prayer determines the kind of blueprint we create. I'll say that again. Our emotional state during prayer determines the kind of blueprint we create. Knowing that the field is a reflection of our inner beliefs, we must find a way to clear our hurt and anger before we pray. Then he asks in here, how do we suspend our negative emotions while we access the powerful space between? How do we do that? We're in the middle of an emotion. So he invites us to consider an ancient practice he calls blessing. Blessing. So before we proceed, thoughts up to now about this moment between.
Well, how do you define blessing?
I'm going to do that. I just wanted to give you a chance to reflect up to now, or not, which is fine too. Bob?
I find it helps me to breathe and count to 10, like if I get a criticism, and think about it. Well, it could be a positive outcome of the criticism,
Right.
and not let it trigger me.
Yes. Not let it trigger you or activate you. What's actually happening when you take that count to 10 and breathe, pause? What's going on physiologically?
You're suspending judgment. You're in that place where anything is possible. Any response is possible at that time, not habitual.
Okay, good. And physiologically, then, what's happening when we do that?
You're letting go of that anger. So those responses that would normally come from anger, the rush of adrenaline, all that, starts to dissipate, and we allow the peace to start coming back in.
Right. So yes, all these things are happening, and what's happening physiologically when you do the take a breath? And I'm still trying to get to that specific, simple.
Rewiring?
If you studied emotional intelligence, there's something that happens in there.
I remember studying it, but I can't
Okay.
figure it out.
Chris?
It's giving your, well, we go into a fight or flight syndrome, and that is a reaction that happens in our back brain,
Yeah,
our
so right back
reptilian
here.
brain. And so by taking a couple of breaths or counting to 10, we allow our frontal lobes, our front brain, to be involved to make a rational choice about what we're going to do, rather than acting
Yes.
from that fight or flight, reacting.
So that energetic trigger that's moved in the base of your spine has time to move through the limbic system and up into your forebrain so that you can then begin to think rationally. It takes about 10 seconds for most people to do that. Martin?
I've been waiting for the word enough to come up. Because when I'm feeling like I have enough breath, food, sleep, when I have enough to have taken care of myself, that's that moment between lack and
Yes.
abundance.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a better word than abundance, but the moment I'm feeling like I don't have enough is the moment I begin to stress.
Right.
So what if I teach myself that I do have enough all the time? Then when you count to 10, you're giving yourself enough time
Yes.
to think of something to settle down, or to remind yourself that I'm already okay.
Right.
So enough is a really good place to be if you can find it.
Yes.
And when I asked you about blessings, it comes in then, because if I feel blessed, I have that sense of it's enough.
Right.
I've got what I need.
Yes. Nice. So, blessing defined, that's the next section. Here we go. Blessing may be defined as a quality of thought, feeling, and emotion that allows us to redefine our feelings about something that's hurting us now or has hurt us in the past. Stated another way, blessing something is the lubricant that frees our hurtful emotions, opening us up to greater healing, rather than keeping our emotions stuck and unresolved within the body. To lubricate our emotions, we must acknowledge or bless all aspects of those hurtful things, such as those who suffer, the cause of the suffering, and those who witness the suffering. I often find it, he says, important that this point, okay, let me start that sentence again. I often find at this point in any discussion of what blessing is, that it's important to be very clear about what it is not. When we bless someone who's hurt us, clearly we aren't suggesting that what has happened is okay, or that we'd like it to happen again. Blessing doesn't condone or make excuses for any atrocity or act of suffering. I'm just going to finish this sentence and then we'll come your way. It doesn't put a stamp of approval on a hurtful event or suggest that we should ever choose to re-experience it. So I have a longer quote, but I'm going to pause.
Yeah, as you say, you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
And if they come at you negatively, you bless them, you pray for them, and you say, well, yes, God will bless them. You don't look for the negative in them, because I never look for negative in people, ever.
Yeah.
And I'm told all the time that I find people that just don't like me or never come my way as far as the way I think. And I still treat them good.
Yeah.
Because I will never change that part, because if I do that, then I'm just altering who I am.
Yeah. So blessing everybody, not judging.
Amen.
So it doesn't mean condoning, and it doesn't mean being a doormat and letting people walk on you. That has nothing to do with any of that. What blessing does do is free us from our painful experiences. It acknowledges that those events, whatever they were, have occurred, When we do so, our feelings about those experiences move through our bodies instead of getting stuck inside them. In this way, blessing is the key to reaching Rumi's field beyond wrongdoing and right doing. Blessing is the key to accessing the space between. It temporarily suspends our hurt long enough so that we can replace it with another feeling. Through the act of blessing, you assume your power to release life's deepest hurts and unresolved feelings. Blessing does so without the need to trace those feelings back to their origins. We don't need to rehash and rehash. That's really detrimental. It doesn't require us to relive the pain again and again to get the bottom of it, to the bottom of it, or embark upon the endless search to understand why things happened the way they did. While all of these paths may work to some degree and for some people, without the need for any ability other than what you already have inside of you, the single act of blessing gives you the power to change your life. And it does so in a heartbeat. When we can make our choices and offer our prayers from a place of strength and clarity, rather than from the weakness of rage and hurt, something wonderful begins to happen. Such a powerful tool can be as simple or as difficult as we choose to make it. David?
Well, it seems like blessing is a practice that can only be done in the present.
Yeah.
You're not turning up the past or
Right.
predicting the future.
Yes.
It's a present progress,
Yeah.
present energy that we're.
Right. Yes. Present energy.
When I was listening to your description, it sounded like the notion of forgiveness, accepting what was there, but not dwelling on that. But
Right.
it sounded like blessing is also, could be labeled forgiving what is going on at the moment.
Yes. The word forgive, looking at its parts, simply means to give forward or to move forward. Move on. Don't stay stuck to whatever it is.
It's the beginning of healing
And it's, yeah, definitely the beginning of healing. Yes.
with ourselves.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I feel that blessing is like opening a communication with God,
Uh-huh.
like calling God on the phone. And you're opening yourself to that communication. At the same time, if you have faith, you know that it's happening in this very moment.
Right.
And with that knowledge comes, you can self-forgive, you can forgive others, you can, just opening yourself up to that good energy is what blessings do. I've never thought of it quite that way. But it seems to me, it's a very effective tool.
Yeah, we're going to practice in just a moment. Give you a practice round.
All right.
One more thought, though. If we are not judging to begin with, we have nothing to forgive. So if we are entirely non-judgmental around any circumstance, there's no need to forgive because there's nothing to forgive other than our own judgment.
That makes me think if that's the case, pleasant interactions are made possible because another is not being made to feel wrong or shamed or guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's remember that judgment goes both ways. Don't judge yourself so much.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, judgment, we self-judge a lot. People tend to self-judge a lot.
It just occurred to me that if I'm going to forgive you, I have to make you wrong first.
Right. Yeah, I have to make you wrong or there's nothing that I feel I need to forgive. So what if we don't make one another wrong, but rather assume the highest intent? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily maintain a relationship with someone that doesn't work for you. It doesn't mean, any of those things. But what if we assume that whoever's before us, with all that they've experienced in their lives and all that they bring, they're actually doing the very best that they can. Assuming highest intent.
And by doing that, you are, I had a great thought here, but they're big, these thoughts are so big, it's like climbing a mountain. By not judging, you don't have to defend anything.
Right. That's right. There's no need for defending yourself if there's no judgment going either way either. David.
Well, there's a great movie called Defending Your Life that kind of goes over that whole truth.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. That'd be a fun one to do in community here.
There you go, Michael.
All right. So, like forgiveness, blessing is not condoning something. Just make sure that we're clear about that. We're not inviting it to happen again. It's just simply acknowledging that something has happened without judgment. So here's how this process, this tool works. First ask yourself, am I willing to let go of any need for retribution? Am I willing to let go of any need for retribution? That's got to be the first question.
Well, that's simple. I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, so why would you look for,
Right.
anything, retaliation or anything?
Yeah. But how many times do we, all truth be told, feel like somebody needs to pay? Somebody needs to pay for this.
Sometimes we call that in our minds justice.
Right. We call it justice.
But it's justification.
It's justification, not justice. That's right.
And I don't think there's any evidence that Jesus did any sort of retribution toward anybody. Of course,
We have no evidence that there was ever any retribution. That's true. So if you ask yourself that question, am I willing to let go of any need for retribution? And if your answer comes back no, then stop right there. Because there's a need for further reflection before moving to step 2. If you're in the no, there needs to be payback. Why would you choose to hold on to a belief that keeps you locked into the hurt that's causing you to suffer? When you come up with a no, there has to be payback. Why would you lock yourself into that painful space? Because it's not hurting the other person. It's hurting you. So we're going to assume, we're going to move past the no. Once you feel that no loosening and you feel a willingness to put it down, the rest is simple. Say out loud. You don't have to do it out loud here, but out loud is a powerful practice because it engages your brain more fully and your heart more fully. I bless the one who has been harmed. I bless the one who has been harmed. Then, I bless the one who caused the harm. I bless the one who caused the harm. And finally, I bless myself for the witnessing. I bless the one who has been harmed. I bless the one who caused the harm. I bless myself for the witnessing.
And I tell you, that's a prayer.
It is a prayer.
Yeah.
It
God
is.
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. But before that, it says, give me grant me my bread, my daily
Right.
bread. Forgive me my trespass, and I forgive those that trespass against me. And deliver me not from temptation, but from the evil one.
Mhm.
For yours is the kingdom and the power and glory forever. Amen.
Beautiful. So while you're engaged in blessing, a space is created for healing. Go ahead, Chris. Oh, you're just scratching your head. Sorry. You said it.
Well, I'm thinking that if during that time when you're saying, I bless the one who's been harmed, and I bless the one who was harmed. If your mind is putting a picture on those, you might want to go back to step one again.
Well, if you're, yes, to say this is the one who caused the harm is actually a factual accounting, as long as there's no anger, judgment,
That was
or
what my
around it.
thing was, though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're not seeing all the whole facts and everything
Right.
like that. And if we could see that just a little bit twist on something, we could see that there was no intent.
Right.
And so if we're still holding on to some kind of a little bit of blame,
Right.
you know, even though we got the go-ahead in the beginning,
Yeah.
then it might be time to go back.
Back up.
Yeah.
Still judging.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, if I'm blessing someone, does that mean I still made a judgment?
It can, and that's what she's saying, if you're doing it with judgment, then back up until the judgment's dropped. But to factually say that something occurred, to say, let's take an example. I even have done this, you pass an animal that's been hit on the road. I bless the one that has been harmed. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, I bless the one that has been harmed. I bless the one who did the harm. There is, in fact, a person or a car, maybe not intentionally, but there is the fact that harm was done. So blessing the one that was the agent for that harm happening to the animal. And I bless myself for the witnessing. So there can be judgment, and if there is, that's when he say, go back until you can put it down and see it just as these are the facts. This person was harmed. It came through the hands of this person or through my own hands, my own words. And I bless myself in the witnessing of the harm.
I like that concept because with the three phases of it, it's almost like a mathematical formula that equals zero when you finally blessed yourself for the
Right.
witnessing of it.
Yeah.
It's like it takes away all responsibility or all that guilt, all that stuff that we've been programmed to
Right.
feel by society.
And it gives you that space in between a feeling of suffering of some kind and your movement forward to kind of clear, like you said, brings it to zero, just to kind of clear things out. Not to shove feelings, because sometimes this process, again, coming back to animals, when I see animals hit on the road or whatever, I have a reaction to that. You know, I have a feeling reaction to that. And this gives me the time to experience that pain. To experience that pain. But then also I can shift it out of the pain into the blessing.
I had an experience yesterday coming down the hill from Shingletown, and it's often that squirrels will try to cross the road. And I was driving one way, and all of a sudden this black squirrel lifted its head. It had been hit. And it looked at me as if, you know, I'm going to get run over again. And I had occasion then to bless it because the poor thing
Right.
couldn't move,
Yeah.
but it was still aware.
Yeah.
And I'd not seen that before. I've hit squirrels,
Yeah.
and it's just a shame. I used to cross myself for that when I saw an animal that was gone.
Have a good day, Jeff. So let's end by giving it a try.
I hope I haven't hurt anybody by saying that experience. And it's not about me. It is about what you just said, about
Right.
letting go of a tragic situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I blessed it. It could be that the person that hit it didn't even know.
That's true. That's true. One more comment, then we're going to give this a try.
I think that we are assuming that something went wrong when an animal got hit or whatever the circumstance is.
Mhm.
There again, we're making a judgment. Maybe it was that time for that animal or that being or whatever to
Move on.
Yeah, right, move
Yeah,
on.
right.
And so there again, I feel like maybe I'm not seeing the whole.
So what
picture.
we're trying to look at is, when I see the animal, I experience pain. It's just something I feel. So this is a process to help me move through that pain. So it really has nothing to do with judging it right or wrong, or maybe we're overthinking it. What I'm talking about is I feel the pain. Something happens, I feel pain or suffering in some way. This is a tool to move me through, to allow me to feel it and then move gracefully out of it without going to a place of judgment or overthinking it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that wasn't, I mean, clearly if something happens, my belief is it was supposed to happen. But that doesn't mean that I don't feel pain at the witnessing
Right.
of it.
Yes.
You know, when we're witnessing the news and people are being killed across the world somewhere,
Right.
we feel the pain of that. To say, well, maybe that's what's supposed to be happening. We don't even voice those words. But I believe that probably it's true.
Yeah. If this is all God,
Right.
it's got to be true.
But this is about how we can learn to move through our
On
own
the human
feelings.
level, yeah.
Right, without shoving them and getting stuck in blame and all of that stuff. So call to mind, if you will. You can do this without vocalizing in the room if you wish, but just know that it's more powerful at home if you speak the stuff out loud. Call to mind someone or a group of someones who seem to be suffering. The appearance is there is suffering happening. And be really specific. I bless whoever the one is that is suffering. Next, bless the one that caused the suffering. Again, be specific. This isn't about judging the person. It's just saying, if this person was harmed and this person did the harm by this action, I bless the one who did the action. And finally, bless yourself in the witnessing. And again, be specific. Now in the next moment of silence, do it again. As many times as you can in the next minute. I invite you to close with me in prayer. From the Gnostic Gospel of Peace. In the moment between the breathing in and the breathing out is hidden all the mysteries. And from the Gospel of Thomas. If you bring forth that which you have within you, it will save you. If you do not, it will destroy you. In this sacred moment, knowing that God is the one source of all of life, the one universal living presence, expressing and experiencing themselves as all of creation. I relax in the knowing that I am that. I am a perfect and intentional expression of the divine. I'm honored and privileged to offer this blessing. To all who are suffering in the world, I bless you. To all who cause suffering, I bless you. And for the witnessing of suffering in our daily lives, I bless us all. In this blessing, I stand in the gap between what has been and what is yet to come. I hold a safe and sacred space for possibilities to flourish and for a more beautiful world to come into being. In deep faith that my prayer is powerful, that it makes a positive impact, and with profound gratitude that I am part of the co-creation of our future, I release my word into the receptive field that hears and responds to it with a resounding yes. I let it be so, and so it is. Amen. So there's another tool for your toolbox. So each Sunday, as we prepare to wrap up for our lunch together, we invite you to join in the celebration of the work that we're doing by offering of your financial support, should you choose to do that. We also, if you're online, then you can go to our website, mysticheart.org, and you'll find a donate button and a mailing address. We also have a gracious giving program for those who would like to commit to a heartfelt donation of any size during the month, every month. That helps us with our budgeting and such. We are an individual self-sustaining center, so this is our support, and then we return it to you by being your support. So as we offer time for our circulation today, we have another brief video from Jason Mraz. I'm in the garden thing right now because it's the time and because it's what we're up to. So this is the soil story of Jason Mraz.
I'm Jason Mraz. I am a singer-songwriter by trade, but I'm also a gentleman farmer in Oceanside, California. Good night, ladies. I operate a little under 10 acres. I went organic about 5 years ago, but realized I'll never make my money back, ever, just growing avocado trees. That's when I began to look for alternatives. And that's when I stumbled upon the work that Kiss the Ground was doing.
Kiss the Ground is an organization dedicated to inspiring people to understand the potential of regenerative agriculture as one of our great solutions for how to mitigate and reverse climate change.
Through our ag practices over the last 100 years, through our industrial practices, we've been mining carbon out of the soil, and we've been putting it up into the atmosphere.
The good news, we can build that carbon back underground as healthy soil faster than we ever thought was possible.
And I heard this right at the same time as we're getting ready to add new trees between our avos. And one of the things we were going to do was till the earth between the trees and build garden grow beds that we would put our coffee trees in. And one of the things in regenerative farming brought to my attention was don't disturb the soil, don't till. I was like, okay, well, shoot, I don't know how I'm going to plant a tree without disturbing the soil. But it did get us thinking about leaving the earth to do what it needs to do to regenerate itself. Here's a pretty good example, I guess, of what the old model looked like, where your trees are very tall, and when the workers come in, they have to climb ladders and use poles to get the fruit, and it's very dangerous. And you have all this extra space between the trees, which is being pretty much wasted. The new model is we're keeping the trees a little smaller, and that allows us to introduce, surprisingly, almost 3,000 new trees to the same existing property. And that is more leaves, which provide the photosynthesis for bringing the carbon out of the atmosphere and putting it back into the earth for carbon sequestration with our soil.
Literally, not every plate of food can be a way that we're mitigating and sequestering carbon out of the atmosphere.
So we're actually standing on a path of mulch that came from grinding up the avocado trees. When we cut the big ones down, we had a lot of tree trunks, so we ground those up and we made these roads and paths, which will eventually break down and turn back into soil. We hand feed the trees. We don't spray anything, we don't inject anything, we just feed them more composted soil. We're also going to be adding peaches and apricots and mangoes and bananas. By having different types of trees, bartering and trading of nutrients under the soil gets to happen. One tree needs more magnesium. They can do that bartering and trading to take that magnesium or the copper from another resource and get it over to this tree.
You can help nature and the natural system become as best as it can be. Nature ends up doing the work for you if you set it up and help nature set it up correctly.
Here we go, back to the earth. 1, 2. Whenever my head starts to hurt, before it goes from bad to feeling worse, I turn off my phone, I get down low, I put my hands in the dirt. I have a day job which can support my farming habit, but I also don't want to lose money as a farmer. And my neighbor farmers are losing money. Everyone around here who's just growing avocados is losing money. And they're wondering, should they sell their farm? I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. Right now, avocados are selling for about $1 a pound, but coffee has the potential to be sold for $20, $40, $60 a pound, and that's a significant increase. This new model of diversification adds economic value. That's where real change happens. You do something awesome in your backyard, your neighbor's gonna look over the fence and want to do the same thing. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth. Something like that.
If it's just not your thing to garden or farm, so be it. Shop at the farmer's market from those people who it is their thing. Local, organic, regenerative practices.
The last time I went to his day job, it was at night. But it's a great day job. Okay, so we give thanks for these gifts. Thank you, Spirit, for the bounty of this earth, the prosperity and abundance. And I give thanks to each one here for transporting that abundance to your source of spiritual enrichment. We give thanks for all of it, and we pledge to steward it wisely so that we can continue our work here at Mystic Heart and out in the greater Reading community. So we accept these gifts with a grateful heart, and so it is. Amen. Time to switch hats.
All right. Sing us on our way to smelling good.
All together, hand in hand, see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, may good flow to you, let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, 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 love be with you until we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, love
for lunch.